In this video, we will see when and how to calculate running total and normal total in SQL. So for that, we will be using a table called as sales data. Let me query the table and let us see the schema of the table first. So our table is sales data. So the table contains 4 columns which are sales year, sales quarter, quantity and amount. So consider this table as a table generated by a car dealership throughout 3 years, which are 2020, 21 and 22, and this is again divided into different quarters. Each of the quarter they are making a particular sales, that is quantity, and corresponding to that quantity they are making some amount. So that is what the table contains. Now the first question is, write a query to generate a new dataset grouped by sales year with total amount at total quantity for that year. So what they are asking us to find is, we have to find the total quantity and total amount they have raised for each year. That is, the result should contain 3 columns which are sales year, total quantity and total amount. So this total quantity should be the sum of all the quantity that they have sold during the particular year. So we have to find total quantity and total amount for each year. Result set should contain 3 columns which are sales year, total quantity and total amount. So it is obvious that we require those 3 columns as the output. So from the input table, select, we want sales year. Now what we have to find is the sum of quantity and sum of amount. First we have to find the sum of quantity. Now we have to give an alias name as total quantity, which is same as the question is asking us to do. The next thing is sum of amount, same as the previous calculation. Next thing is, we are taking this from the table sales data, and finally, since this is an aggregation, we have to group the result by the particular column. Here it is sales year, so group by Now let us run this query and see our output. Now we have got an output which consists of the 3 columns which are sales year, total quantity and total amount. This is how we calculate the normal sum. So in the result, now we have the total quantity sold by the particular dealership in that particular year and the total amount they have raised through selling that particular quantity. For 3 years we have calculated. So our data set contains only data for 3 years. Corresponding to that, we have calculated the total quantity and total amount for the particular 3 years. Now let us move on to the next question, which make use of the concept of running sum. So basically, what is running sum? A running total is the summation of a sequence of numbers which is updated each time a new data is added to the sequence. So basically what it is telling us is, if we see the previous result, this is normal sum. If it was running sum, the result should have been 2020, the total quantity should be same 690. 2021, the total quantity should be the total quantity of 2020 plus the total quantity of 2021, and 2022, the cumulative should be the previous total plus the total quantity for that particular year. So now let us try to calculate the running sum. Before that, let us read the question, like what they are asking us to do. So compute a running total of quantity and amount by sales year and ordered by sales year. Result set should contain 3 columns, namely which are sales year, cumulative quantity and cumulative amount. So let us write a query for the same. So here we make use of two concepts, subquery as well as running sum. Query the table, then it will be more clear. Sorry. Yes, this is the input table. So they are asking us to find the cumulative quantity and cumulative amount with respect to sales year. Initially we have to calculate the total sum and total quantity per each year. So that is the first thing that we have to do. Then only we can go and calculate the cumulative quantity. So we are going to calculate the total sum and total quantity for particular years. So the first column should be sales year, sum of quantity dot quantity. We are giving some alias name. Next is sum of amount, and we are giving a second name for sum of amount as total amount. Now this is from the table sales data, and we have to group the result by sales year. Now let us run this query and see the result what we are getting. It will be the exact same result that we have got from the previous question. Now let us consider this query which we have generated as a subquery and then calculate the cumulative sum. Now what we have to do is, even before writing select clause, let us put the subquery in a bracket and consider that as a separate input table. We are giving an alias name for that as well, because without that our result would give some error. Now what we have to do is, we want sales year in the result. So whatever query I am writing now is referencing the subquery. So earlier we used sales data as the input table. Now this entire subquery acts as my input table. So now the output should contain sales year. The next thing is, I am going to calculate the running sum. Sum of dot quantity. I am making use of this dot quantity column, and we are using the syntax for running sum, which is over. Inside that over, we have to write how we want to order the result, that is order by, I want to order the result by sales year. In ascending order, because the result should contain smallest year at the beginning, as the name which the question has already given us, which is cumulative quantity CUMQTY. Similarly, we can write an equation for syntax for total amount, which is dot underscore AMT over order by the same sales year, because we want to get the result in the same manner, and giving an alias name as cumulative underscore amount, and we are referencing the subquery. For that I am writing from, because all these columns I am referencing the subquery. Now let us run this query and see the result. Now we have got the cumulative quantity and cumulative amount with respect to sales year, but we need to compare the result with the normal sum. For that what we can do is we can simply query the input columns as well, which is total quantity and total amount, next to the running sum columns. So here I am going to write total underscore quantity, and before cumulative amount I am going to query total underscore amount. Now let us run this query again and see the result. Now we have got the complete result, and once we understand the final result, we can actually remove this total quantity column and total amount column, because the question has asked us to only calculate the 3 columns in the final result, which is sales year, cumulative quantity and cumulative amount. Now let us inspect the result and see if we are getting the right result. So we have the sales year column, secondly we have the total quantity, and here we have the cumulative quantity. So now let us see, we have for 2020 we have 690 quantity sales, cumulative will be the same because there is no previous year and we don't have to add up anything. For 2021 we have 640 quantity sales, and the cumulative quantity is 1330, which is the sum of 640 and 690. Now if we are again coming to 2022, we have the total quantity as 330 and the cumulative quantity as 1660, which is 330 plus 1330, which is the sum of 640 and 690. So the calculated cumulative quantity is correct. Now let us see the total amount column and cumulative amount column. So for 2020, total amount that is raised through the sales is 10,800 and cumulative amount will be 10,800 since there are no previous year. In 2021, the total amount is 11,200, and in the cumulative amount we can find that it's 22,000, which is the sum of 10,800 plus 11,200. And now when we are coming to the 2022, total amount is 5,600 and the cumulative amount is 27,600, which is the sum of 5,600 plus 11,200 plus 10,800. So this is how we calculate normal sum and running sum in SQL. Thank you.